Good morning to you all. Well, Donald Trump, sounds like he's going to be a busy little bee after, right now, since he's now President Donald Trump. Do you remember the Reform Party? You know, H. Ross Perot back in 1992 and 1996. That's my Perot impression. I apologize. It's not really a good impression. But anyway, this cranky, eccentric billionaire, mm, I could basically call Donald Trump without the right wing baggage. He founded the Reform Party, and I don't know if it exists to this day or not. I do know that Donald Trump was a member of the Reform Party. He's been a Democrat, he's been a Republican, he's been an independent, and he's been in the Reform Party, all interchangeably over the years. What apparently Donald Trump is planning to create a Patriot Party. Former President Donald Trump is making plans, that's right, to create a new political party called the Patriot Party. This is exciting news for many of the diehard, hardcore Donald Trump followers. His supporters are probably ecstatic. Well, both corporate Democrats, leftists inside the Democratic Party, and leftists who are independent that hates the two-party system should also be very, very rejoiceful and celebrate over this. The people that should be worrying, I would say, would be probably establishment Republicans. Now, I can imagine at this point you're going to hear some of uh, these establishment Republicans engage in the same kind of rhetoric that establishment Democrats and even some left wing Democrats tell frustrated leftists, um, people like myself, who's been very pissed off with the Democratic Party for not being very progressive and just kind of moving away from New Deal liberalism. And it's basically when they're being magnanimous and nice, these Democrats would tell these leftists that, it it would be along the lines of of telling them about the barriers of breaking through the two-party system, how it's virtually impossible to or almost impossible, and you're going to have funding problems, you're going to have airtime problems and building up a base and going through ballot access petitions and all the a whole lot of work to do, legal work and things of that nature. You you know that these Republicans are going to be doing the same thing to all the Donald Trump supporters. And my advice is that if there is a plan and you see that this Patriot Party is being created right now before our very eyes, if you're minding your own business down the street and somebody who's working with the Patriot Party come up to you and ask for a signature to get their political party on the ballot, don't be an asshole to them. Gladly sign it. In fact, I want not just want you to sign it. I want you to sign it, and I want you to get your whether you're a corporate Democrat or you're a leftist, inside or outside of the Democratic Party, everybody you make damn sure that the Patriot Party will be on the ballot. And the thing about it is competition. Competition. And I'll be out and say it. It would be wonderful that there could be a political party that could really just snatch the rug from under the Republican Party, whether they're nutcases like Marjorie Taylor Greene or whether they're moderate Republicans like Susan Collins. Doesn't matter. I like the fact that they will be undermined, and it should be encouraged. And now, if anybody's listening that's sympathetic to the idea of the Patriot Party, anybody who's a Trump supporter out there, in spite of you probably being mad at me for wanting to destroy the Republican Party, or even some Republicans mad at me for encouraging this. For anybody out there who wants to get involved with this Patriot Party, this is what you do. And I know this from being in the Socialist Party USA in the past when it comes to independent politics. Contact the Constitution Party. They will be glad to be state affiliates for the Patriot Party. And if you all don't know what the Constitution Party is, I will be glad to tell you. The Constitution Party is a small paleo-conservative third party, and I believe it was founded in the late '80s by Howard Phillips. I think that was his name. It was originally called the U.S. Taxpayers Party, and it is a party for the hard right, and like the conspiracy theorists, you know, just the radical extreme nutcase right tends to be with the Constitution Party. They are they are religious right oriented. They are against labor unions. They're against socialized medicine in ways that makes the Republicans look reasonable. Even fairly right wing Republicans look reasonable on that issue. They're the real deal. They could be statewide affiliates. The American Independent Party in California, George Wallace's old party nationally from 1968. They could also be affiliate in California for this Patriot Party. So, so I'm giving some folks on the other side a little helpful advice, because by helping them, leftists like myself can help my fellow leftists. And I'll give you an example of things like that happening in the past. In 1924, the Progressive Party was created. That was Robert La Follette's Progressive Party. Robert La Follette was a Republican senator, strangely enough, from Wisconsin, but he was a left wing senator, virtually a socialist, one of the founders of the Progressive magazine in 1909, one of the best publications in the United States. If you're still into print media, I highly recommend the Progressive magazine. Progressive.org, you'll find all the information you need to find this magazine, edited by Matthew Rothschild. But anyway, Progressive Party was founded in 1924, and some of the affiliates from the Socialist Party of America, the party of Eugene Debs and Norman Thomas, they did not run a candidate that year. They endorsed Robert La Follette for president, and so you could have voted for the Progressive in some states on the Socialist ballot, for example. Fast forward to the year 1948, a new Progressive Party, separate from Robert La Follette's Progressive Party, but just as left wing, by former Vice President Henry C. Wallace under FDR when he was taken down and replaced with Harry Truman. 1948, he became the Progressive Party candidate for president. And state affiliates like state parties like the American Labor Party of New York State um, ran the progressive candidates on their state ballot. And they did that in 1948. They did that in 1952. In 1972, a People's Party was founded with Benjamin Spock as the presidential candidate, a radical socialist party. Um, the California Peace and Freedom Party was the state affiliate for the People's Party that year, and the Liberty Union Party in Vermont, a party that Bernie Sanders was a member of, was also a state affiliate of the People's Party. Now, a little side note about the People's Party. Excuse me, the Liberty Union Party. I don't particularly have any respect for them these days because they turned against Bernie Sanders in the '70s, and in 2004, um, when the Socialist Party ran Walter Brown for president, they didn't like Walter Brown, even though the vice presidential candidate Mal Herbert was from Vermont. They had this get even attitude, and they put the Workers' World Party candidate as the Liberty Union candidate. And as a result, I have never forgiven the Liberty Union Party, and they can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. and for what they did. One of the reasons why I left the Socialist Party USA, because they got fucked over by Liberty Union, but because they wanted to keep in relations with the Liberty Union Party later on. They knew that things would be repaired, and they knew it was a personal dispute with Walt Brown. Anyway, that's what happened there. But getting back to the Socialist Party USA campaign in 1924, um, Walt Brown was able to get the Natural Law Party in Michigan to put his name on the ballot, and the United Citizens Party in South Carolina, same thing. And I'm kind of meandering a little bit, but I'm just giving you an example of how certain independent satellite political parties or sometimes national parties can work with other national parties and hitch along and kind of work in coalition with each other. Um, Independent politics is quite interesting, to tell you the truth. I like independent politics, but let me just say this: I kind of hope I would never support and I would never vote for the Patriot Party. I would never do that, but I will go and sign their petition gladly so they can get on the ballot, because that's votes that will be taken away from the Republicans. And I think that this could possibly weaken the Republican Party. I don't know how permanently, but at least for a good couple of years, maybe about a decade, the Republican Party could be wounded, or maybe they will be permanently wounded, and you'll see that the probably moderate Republicans will probably form a new conservative party as a result. Well, if you got the Patriot Party and then the Republican Party just becoming the conservative party, well, there will be really no reason for the Democratic parties, the leftists in the Democratic Party, to sit there and take marching orders from their corporate Democrat overlords. So, because right now with the electoral college system that exists, um, there, both Democrats and Republicans, they're each party is a collection of special interests and tendencies and ideological camps, and they're unified by their mutual hatred of the other party. I'm talking about Democrats against Republicans and Republicans against the Democrats. You go and unfortunately that electoral college is what keep both parties together. That's one of the reasons I say we need to abolish the electoral college, because I think if you abolish the electoral college, you'll see the two parties fragment. Well, it just could do it anyway. And so, I like the idea of the left wing of the Democratic Party leaving with the labor unions and forming their own labor party, the new People's Party, Movement for People's Party that's being created right now. They could go with them, they could go with the Greens, or they could say like, well, fuck it, we'll be like Great Britain and Australia, and New Zealand and Ireland. We'll have our own labor party. So, the, you know, the point I'm trying to make is I am glad that's making me in a good mood to the notion or the idea of seeing the two parties basically possibly fragmenting. And it looks like at this point there's a civil war kind of going on in both parties anyway. I mean, the Trumpian Republicans and the Mitt Romney, George W. Wing Republicans are cannot stand each other, and to they're going to probably fracture apart. Well, you got the Bernie Sanders AOC people on the left, and then you got the Hillary Clinton wing, the Bill and Hillary Clinton wing of the Democratic Party. They can't stand each other, so it's possible that they could be parting ways too. So I like the idea of the two party system fracturing apart, and I say let it happen. Let it happen right now. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were just absolutely just saddened by my words, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel as a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that is sure that to create your own platform, especially if you're passionate about something and utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. And most important, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, peace. And Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024. Hot diggity damn.